recording. All right. Well, Michelle, why don't you go?
Why don't I go?
Yeah, you go.
Woo!
Start.
Well, I would say first, I would love to hear, Suzanne, how was your month? Like how are you emotionally, energetically? What's up with DIQ and what's new and good in your world?
DIQ, in DIQ, I've resubmitted. We did not have a fabulous month last month, and
Okay.
I'm okay. Just not a lot of activity, which is why when Sean commented the last time, I was like, that's okay if we don't make it, because I was very hesitant thinking that was all going to come together in 1 month, and I was feeling a little bit of pressure about that.
Yeah.
From others. And so anyway, and I had some personal challenges along the way. I also was putting some time into some other people. And I mean, I don't want to say too much time because there's some great things that have happened in some people's lives. But anyway, so I'm back in DIQ, resubmitted today, and I'm okay. I'm emotionally okay. I still have, though, I'm still kind of repriming the pump. Michelle and Sean, you know Mary Kay too, but so kind of having to get the activity going again, having to deal with the leads and getting those leads again and getting that going. I'm going to be gone for almost 2 weeks this month. That makes me a little nervous, but I'm flying out to California for my, we have our fall advance in Pleasanton with my national area. And then plus I also have a special needs son, and I have to do his semi-annual meeting with all his vocational services and stuff. So, and I have to have some major dental work done. I had a lot of work done back about 15, 20 years ago. Had surgeries 3.5 years. So I'm spending a lot of time out there that's making me a little nervous. But I have a consultant out there, so I've got a party. We're going to do a party for her. I've got another party that's booked with one of my previous neighbors when I lived out there. So that's kind of where I am. If you're talking logistics is what's going on. So a little bit nervous, but I'm okay. I mean, I've done this before, so, you know, I'm nervous in the sense that I don't want to have to go back to corporate America before I get this part done, and not nervous in the sense that it'll be okay. I mean, it's not the end of the world. So.
Yeah, it's a good combo.
So that's kind of where I am. So I've got some lead generating activity coming up this weekend. And the weekend I come back from California. So going to be doing that. So I have some stuff going on out there and a little bit of stuff going on here. And then my new consultants, we're restarting the new consultant training. Remember last week I had to jump off after about 30 minutes, but I did it the first 4 rounds with some of my people, and I don't have to do that again this time. So I can stay on the entire time. So that's good. I mean, I can stay with you guys. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I have to jump off and they're not expecting to see me or be on or whatever. So I'm okay. So that's where I am. So y'all take it from there. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what to say.
Got it.
Is someone else coming in?
Maybe.
Hopefully. Okay.
Why hopefully?
Well, oh no, because that's if they're trying to get in. Hopefully they'll make it. I see a
Oh.
phone. I don't know because I was struggling to get in too, but they hopefully they'll be able to connect.
Yeah.
Got it. I bet that's Marlena, would be my guess. Let me see.
Marlena, can you hear us?
Yeah, that's her phone number.
Okay.
And the only reason I'm not on with you guys with my face is because I'm not dressed. So.
Hey.
I mean, I'm dressed. I'm dressed. You know what I'm saying. So it's a long week. I got that 3:30 in the morning nanny thing going on all this week.
You're allowed to show up not dressed.
Yeah. Okay.
Marlena, can you hear us? And if you can, if you press *6, you can unmute yourself. Hey.
Oh, that was what it was. I am the queen of *6. So you all couldn't hear me. How's everybody?
Great. How are you?
So good.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Suzanne was just filling us in, and I would love to know how you are. What's new and good, or any updates, cool things that are happening in your life or business?
I have been on vacation for a few weeks for the first time this year. I did not realize. So I'm just kind of catching up and, that's what's going on.
Where'd you go?
To Ohio and West Virginia. West Virginia, I was born in West Virginia, and my brother called, anyway, and I said, and do what? But anyway, it was just an amazing time and connecting with people and just, it was great. Yeah. And then a couple of women that I knew in the corporate world back from 1971, and we spent 4 days together and just had a phenomenal time. Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. That's what's happening with me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So what individually, and Marlena, you can go first if you got something since you're already unmuted. What, if there was something that we could support you with individually on this call today, what would that be?
Okay. One of my things is my writing, and I have tons and tons of things that I've written. What I always call them articles. And I've just recently been thinking about submit without worrying about what other people will think about what I submit. So I don't know. I mean, this is a Mary Kay call, but you and Sean have said, it's not just Mary Kay, it's your life. It's
Absolutely.
Yeah, but that's kind of my thing. Is just kind of, okay, just what are you doing? We're talking about it, and just So submit, and I have so many things, and I've just anyway. Yeah, that's where I am right now with my life.
So can you tell us more? What is it that you're wanting? You're just wanting to submit your articles? Are you wanting to submit a certain
I hadn't
number
really
or
thought
frequency
about
or anything?
Wait, I'm sorry. Say that again.
Are you wanting to submit like a certain number of articles or get into some rhythm with frequency, or what's the goal?
There is no goal because I've just been kind of talking about it for 106 years.
Okay, got it.
So answer to the question.
A long time to be talking about it.
What could support me on this call? I wasn't expecting that. So it's kind of, I've been thinking about and talking about, I'm writing, just, whatever. And then in the last probably couple of weeks, it's kind of like submit. So that's where that is.
So
the fear of, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. The fear of.
There was a thing, let me just find it real quick, that said, that I saw, basically said, God was saying, oh, here it is. Oh my gosh. If each of my children would seek to please me above all else, fear of others' judgments would vanish, as would attempts to impress others. And I thought, oh my gosh. Because that's the thing. Well, I don't really know how to write. And then what if I put, what name should I, maybe I should use a name of, I just realized that I have spent so many years just going around and around in that circle of, but I don't really know how to write. And and it's just been a delaying tactic for years. Just, yeah.
I love that though, what you just said though. That was great.
I just came across that the other day and I just thought, more concerned about what other people would think or say, unknown other people. And so therefore don't submit anything because you don't really write well, and who wants to hear what you have to say, and is this really important, and is it going to make a difference, and just all of that. And it has held me stagnant for over 20 years. And I don't want that to be the case anymore.
What are you wanting to write?
Oh, I write all kinds of things. Recently, I wake up in the middle of the night and I just think, okay, wait. It's just a thought that comes to me.
Mm-hmm.
And Sean said it was so interesting that he said that I have always called them articles. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I have a book and but it has, just get it out there. Quit being afraid. That's the thing. I'm just tired of being afraid of what other people might think.
So you are writing, you're just not sharing it? That's what I want to be clear on. Or are you not writing at all?
No. I write constantly. Yeah, that's correct. Not sharing it.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Who do you write for?
I don't write for anyone. Things just come to my mind and I go, mm-hmm.
Got it. What kind of things?
All kinds.
Could you give me an example?
Primarily justice, just with, the other day I said, wait. How in the world is one person in the news saying, this is wrong because, and the other person says, I want this because, and I thought, what am I missing? Wait, what are you talking about? And it's not about political parties and whatever, but and recently I just keep thinking, man's inhumanity to man. But over 25, 30 years I've written, I just can't tell you. I find scraps of paper and things I've written on the back of envelopes and pages and I thought, wow, I've been doing this for so long. Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you at home or in an environment where if I were to ask you to close your eyes, you could close your eyes?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Is this something that you want some support around in this moment? The submit.
Well, I didn't come on the call thinking that because I came on the call as this is a Mary Kay call. So no, I had not thought about that.
Well, how about now? If I give you a moment to think about it, is this something that you want some support around in this moment?
There is something that I would appreciate some support around in this moment, but I wasn't anything I just want to be clear. I'm just not trying to come on a Mary Kay call and talk about this.
And I want to be clear that I am open to support you on this. And if it would make or help you to feel better, we can ask Sean and Suzanne if they're okay. If we take a few minutes for you.
But again, I wasn't expecting that, so I'm fine with Okay, let me step back. Yes.
Is that you or the fear talking?
It's not the fear. It's this is a Mary Kay Mastermind group, and I don't want to take up time on this instead of Mary Kay.
Got
it's not
it.
the fear. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it possible that maybe inside of something that you share, somebody else would benefit? Maybe there are other people in different constructs, or not constructs, conversations maybe about relationships or their Mary Kay, where they might not be kind of pulling the trigger on something that they want to do, where this might serve them.
Good point. Yes. I'm open to that. Yes.
Perfect.
Yes, very possible. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So then, if you're willing, Marlena, just go ahead and close your eyes.
Okay.
And however feels good to breathe, just to get yourself present inside of this moment, go ahead and just take a couple breaths. And as you settle in, I want to invite you to scan your body, starting at the top of your head. And I want you to move down through your face and your neck, and your chest, down through your ribs, and your stomach, and your hips, all the way down to the tips of your toes. Let me know if you notice the fear. Like if you notice where it's rooted, like where does that fear of submitting show up for you?
At first, I could feel my toes kind of tingling.
Okay.
And now I have that feeling of, not that I'm going to sob and cry, but just kind of, yeah.
Got it.
My toes are actually tingling. That is so amazing. Mm-hmm.
Mm. So tell me more about your toes tingling. Does it go into your foot at all, or is it just in your toes?
My toes, yeah.
Got it. On both feet?
Yes.
Cool. And just using your intuition, what's the color that's associated with that tingling energy?
There's no color.
Okay. What if you had to pick one? What would you say?
I was thinking purple.
Perfect. Like a light kind of lilac purple, or like a deep violet purple?
Deep violet purple.
Cool. And so I know you said tingling. Is it moving, or is it like stationary, the energy?
It's just in my toes. It's not moving. It's just there.
Nice. Got it. Is there anything else that you notice about the deep purple energy in your toes? Like, is it warmer or cooler than the rest of your body, or feel pretty much the same?
It's just in my toes. That's so crazy.
Perfect. That's awesome. Do you notice anything else, or does that description feel complete?
That description feels complete.
Cool. So I want you to take a deep breath in, and with your exhale, I want you to imagine turning up the intensity on the energy in your toes. I want you to really connect with and intensify the fear. It's not who you are, but it is like a foreign object. It's kind of gotten lodged in your body.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that?
What I now feel is that the sensation is now going all the way back to my heels, not just my toes, but back to my heels.
Got it. Marlena, if we gave that energy of voice, what would it say?
I'm scared. That just popped out. I don't feel scared. Okay, that's what I'm scared.
Yeah. Got it. So I know you're not scared, but I want to talk to the energy directly. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah. So I hear that you're scared. What are you scared of? What are you scared of? I'm scared that
I'll just put stuff out there and people won't get it or not accept it or like it or just, and my brain says it doesn't matter. What you're supposed to do is put it out there, and what other people do is not.
I'm going to interrupt you though, because I want to talk to the energy that's in your toes that went all the way back to your heels. And it's scared that it's just going to put stuff out there. What else? I'm afraid that.
And it won't be accepted. Which means I won't be accepted. But in my brain, I think, this doesn't make any sense. Who cares? But
yeah.
Now I'm feeling like this is a Mary Kay call, and I'm just taking up time talking about this.
I'm afraid that I
will look crazy and just, what are you doing? Nobody wants to hear this.
Is that the energy that's in your toes and your heels?
Yes.
Got it. Yeah. What else? No one wants to hear this. What else?
I just keep coming back to this same Mary Kay call about all this.
Marlena, does the energy in your feet want you to shut up?
No, it's just tingling. No, I don't think it does. I want it to shut up because it's just embarrassing. Just
got it. So I invite you in this moment, you, Marlena, now, like this is a Mary Kay call, like shh, stop talking. Marlena, if you could speak to that energy in your toes, what would you say to the energy?
Stop talking. This is important.
Marlena, whose tears are you crying?
Mine.
Got Got it.
Maybe me as a little girl of not being heard. I don't know why I said that. Just
Got it. So stop talking. This is important. What does that energy say back to you, Marlena?
this is it. This is important.
What is important?
It is important. It is important. It is. It is important that I not be silenced anymore. It is important that I say what I need to say and say what I have to say. Yes.
And what do you say back to it is important that I not be silenced?
That is it. I just have the feeling of, no, that is it. What I have to say is important.
Got it. Does the energy in your toes, your heels, have anything else? Or does that conversation feel complete?
I feel complete. That's amazing. It feels complete. Yeah. Yep, it does. Mm-hmm. That is amazing.
Got it. So do me a favor and just do a little scan of your body again.
Mm-hmm.
And let me know the energy in your toes. Has it changed or stayed about the same, gotten more intense, less intense, anything?
It's less intense.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Does it feel like it wants to be there?
It feels as though it's just a little bit at the beginning of my toes where it was at the beginning, but it's completely dissipated.
Yeah. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Are you cool with the energy hanging out there right now?
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. Will you do me one more favor?
Yes.
Okay. Can you picture that little girl whose tears were crying earlier?
Yes. Yes.
And if you could give her one message that she could hear from you in this moment, what would that be?
It's okay. Everything is okay. Everything is okay.
Does that land with her?
Yes.
Perfect. You told me earlier that she had not been heard.
Right.
Is there anything that you want to let her know about speaking?
It's okay. There's nothing to worry about. It's okay.
So go ahead and just take a breath and breathe her in, and breathe in that essence and that truth that it's okay. Everything's okay. And whenever you feel complete with that, not one moment sooner, go ahead and open your eyes. Maybe wiggle your toes. Think about what you're going to do tomorrow.
Okay. Okay.
Awesome. How do you feel in this moment?
I feel released and just kind of, I'm okay.
Yeah, you are. Thank you for
Thank
that.
you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was beautiful. Thank you for allowing us to hold space for you and for sharing that with us.
I just want to thank the support of you all. Just thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome. So I got one more question. Can I ask one more, or did I max out my limit?
You may ask one more.
Perfect. So what's something you can do knowing that everything's okay and that you're okay? What's something that you can do to take action on the submit before our next call?
Well, I actually have a meeting with a woman. It's so incredible. A meeting on Sunday with a woman
Nice.
who is a tech whatever person anyway. And I said I want to do a blog because I thought just start putting all my writings on a blog. Do a blog every day. So she's going to show me how to do that on Sunday. So that's
Nice.
what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Will you share maybe with email how that goes, or let us know
Yes.
that you have the meeting?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Good stuff, my friend.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sean, Suzanne, do you guys have anything to add or share or ask? Was that valuable for you?
Yes, it was for me. And please don't feel like you're taking up the call because this is a Mary Kay call, because I truly believe that whatever we're working on or dealing with benefits all of us that are in the conversation. So just listening to that is a lot of what I think and feel the same way. You know, what are people thinking? What are they saying? You know, people are watching me right now that are my friends, family, and, you know, we care about those that we love. I feel that, you know, we do care about what they think. And that's just part of, I think, our human nature. But sometimes it stops us from doing the things that we should or could be doing to move forward. So I got a lot out of that. So thank you for sharing and being that open and vulnerable to be in that space with us.
Wow. Thank you so much for saying that. Wow. Thank you. Wow. That's amazing. Thank you.
Good stuff, Marlena. Thank you from me as well for going through that, because as Suzanne said, the root fear of what are they going to think is what's causing, I don't know, maybe about 1.5 million women right now from not warm chatting
Mm-hmm.
right now in this moment. and
Yes.
the visibility fears about what if I say something and people judge it, or what if I'm not enough. That's the core issue. So even though it was presenting itself through your writing, it's the same conversation for almost everybody, not just in Mary Kay, but definitely in Mary Kay too.
Wow. What? Wait, Sean, are you saying that what holds us back across the broad spectrum of our lives? It doesn't matter whether it doesn't matter. Whether it's warm chatting or submitting a writing or anything, the root cause is the same no matter what for each person. Is that what you're saying?
What are you saying, and what are you hearing? That's
okay. No, I just thought, wow,
that sounds pretty accurate to me.
That's incredible.
So remember,
it isn't.
Go ahead.
Go on. No, you go ahead.
No, it sounded like you were going to ask a question. I'll remember what I was going to say.
What I thought when I heard that was the things that hold one back, I'll just say me, are not specific to each situation. It's one thing, or whatever it is, it just applies across the board. It's not, well, I can't warm chat because of this. Well, I can't, a bit over here writing, I can't submit because of that. Well, I can't do this. It's the same root cause. Oh, wow. That's what I thought.
It's powerful because of that. Sean, I know you were going to say something, but that's the simplicity, right?
Wow, that's incredible. Mm-hmm.
Kind of breathtaking, huh?
Someone's laughing with.
I just love to hear the depth of your realization right now.
Yeah, I never made that connection.
Yeah. And so this is why, let's just continue the Mary Kay conversation. This is why somebody can memorize a warm chatting script, or how to overcome objections, or learn anything at all business related, and still have resistance, because that's not the actual problem. The actual problem is, what are they going to think?
Wow, that's huge.
Right? And as Michelle said, the beauty in it is now you only got one battle to fight. You don't have to deal with your fear of sales and fear of rejection and fear of abandonment and fear of all that stuff. There's just really one conversation, which is all around your relationship with yourself, really. And so the words that you gave your little girl were just sacred. They're beautiful. It's going to be okay. So what happens, and I'm just speaking as her now, right? But what happens if I try and I fall down? It'll be okay. What happens if yeah, exactly, right? What happens if I go for that goal and don't get it? It'll be okay. What happens if I ask this woman for a name and number and she says no? It'll be okay. What if she joins the business and then quits and then asks for all her product back? It'll be okay. Like, that's the answer that applies to everything. If you really get it.
Yep.
It'll
be okay.
It'll be okay. Yeah.
Okay.
You just pretty much solved all of humanity's problems.
Wow.
At least these personal problems that keep us back, create the sabotage and all of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good work.
Right? Yeah. Just went ahead and wrapped up all of humanity's issues in, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes.
One
Good job.
mastermind.
Good job.
Yeah.
So can I say something then?
Absolutely.
All right. So it's real interesting that we're on this topic, and I always say everything happens when it's supposed to. But so I find it interesting that I'm in my business, I'm humming along and doing what I know to do and need to be doing. And then because I felt the resistance come up, but then when I, for instance, last month, and all of a sudden I've got people saying, okay, well, you're capable of doing this. You can do this in a month. And I it made me kind of want to freeze. What is that? Like, I'm fine. Like, nobody's watching. I'm just doing what I need to be doing. Now, all of a sudden, I got all eyes on me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm under fire. I'm under pressure. I've got to do this. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, I have to do it. My own pressure is my own pressure that I'm out there doing it. But then I'm like, well, what? I'm not going to. I'm trying to figure that out. So, what I'm not. Feel like I'm gonna let other people down if I don't get it accomplished in the time frame they see or believe I can do it. Does that make sense? What I'm bringing up?
100%.
Okay, coaches, you're it. Help.
What's your question?
I guess why would I be doing that? Like, if I'm putting my own pressure on myself to get the job done, to get the things done, because I have my goals and the things that I've set for myself. But then all of a sudden, when someone else comes into the mix of it, I'm like, oh my gosh, well, now I have to feel like I have to, I have to do it for them. I just want to do it. Does that make sense? Like, don't want to have to be, I don't know if it's in the limelight or what, but whatever. I just don't, like, all eyes were on me. Okay. And every time I see or talk to somebody, how are you doing? What's going on? How, that whole thing. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'll let you know when I get it done. I don't know how to explain that and why I felt that way, but I did. So that's kind of coming up for me in this conversation with her and what came up for her. And, I kind of all that around that, what people think, and, because then I feel like, okay, once you kind of announce stuff like that, then all eyes are on you, and, people are watching, well, is she going to make it? Or is this Mary Kay thing going to work? That whole concept, y'all are very well aware of, that mindset out there.
Sure.
So
Absolutely.
I don't know what to do with all that. And I just kind of just don't want to reset my goals and then just work on it. And I'll let everybody know when I'm done. I don't know why I'm like having a hard time with that.
Having a hard time with the judgment of like the all eyes on you, or having a hard time with the 1 month pressure? Both? Something different? I want to make sure I understand.
You're doing, yeah, you got it. Both. I mean, I had the 1 month pressure, and I was thinking, okay, well, if that happens in a month, great. If we, pull this out. But I also know that when you're in DIQ, having done this, I mean, it's mainly, even though it encompasses your whole team and the way that the requirements and qualifications are set up, I still feel, of course, like all the pressure is on me, because I'm the one that needs to be producing the most, right? I mean, I've got to get it done. And I'll be stronger for it in the long run that way as well. But so yeah, the 1 month, I was kind of like, okay, that's great. That's a good goal, but let's not make it the end all be all. And then also just, I don't know. I mean, I just, it's just a constant, um, I just, I just feel like, it's just every conversation is about, well, how are you? Where are you? And all of that. And whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, I'm just like, I just want to put my blinders on, put my head down and just keep going. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what it is. I don't want to
Got it.
answer to that. I don't know what that is.
Got it. So when someone asks you how you are, this kind of spiral that you just shared with me is what happens?
Yeah. I mean, before when I was just kind of getting things going and started, I just was doing, and I don't know, maybe it was just a freer feeling. I don't know. I don't know what the instant pressure was about, but I just all of a sudden felt it. I mean, I felt it all through the month, all through the month. And to the point, sometimes I was like, is that holding me back? And then, feeling like, oh my gosh, if I don't get enough done every day, it's not enough. And then you start in on the negativity, and I got into my head some of the time, and then
What's it sound like in there?
oh, it's a scary place.
Yeah, you should.
It's very scary.
So I'm a big girl. Tell me about it. Like, what's it sound like?
Just, are you sure you can really do this? Have you bitten off more than you can chew? What are you thinking? I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that goes on in my head,
Yeah, tell me more about it. I want to hear it. Are you sure you can do this? Have you bitten off more than you can chew? What else?
Are you too old at this point to try to come back around and do this again? What if you don't make it? What's that going to look like? Now I've got to, like I said, I do not want to have to go back into corporate America. Just all of that, all of those things. And I wasn't really thinking about that much before. And all of a sudden it just got put in, into my head, and it showed up, whatever. I'm not saying anyone put it there. It just showed up. Let's just say that. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. It's really just more of and I had a lot of, quite a bit of some consistent negativity that went on. And I think I let that get the best of me. And
like externally in your environment,
yes,
negativity? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So that kind of, I was fighting that a lot as well.
Got it. Is there anything else? And I just want to ask you to check in this moment. Is there anything else that is present for you? And it doesn't have to be any of these things. It could be something different, that maybe you're too short or too tall or too fat or too ugly or too stupid, or you never win, you always do this. Is there any other head talk conversation that we didn't capture?
Yeah, there's some of, okay, that's good that you brought that up, because I've got some of the, like having projects, like if you start something, but then you don't finish them all the way. So I was like, oh, I don't want this to happen. Even though I've done this before, I just, is to be, venturing out. Yes, I'm too old, thinking about that, what I mean? Do I have the wherewithal physically to do this? Because I know it's going to be a lot of work short term for a long term payoff. I get that, but you're never done till you're done. I mean, you're always doing it. Sometimes you're going faster than others, but times, but still.
I mean, do you really have what it takes, kind of thing?
Yeah. At this point in my life, with my age and all of that.
Got it.
my health, my age, just the things that I'm battling, can I, I let that kind of get into my head. Like if there's negativity, then that starts in. I'm like, well, maybe I really can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, 30 years down the road or 25 years down the road again. So I'm letting that, stifle me. And I know some of this is just like, having that mind shift. And then once you make that mind shift and you move, you kind of then you don't think about it and you just go and do what you need to do.
You
But
figure there's something wrong with you or something missing because you haven't figured out that mind shift yet? Like when you're in this space, like this head space that we're talking about now.
Yes. It's like,
it.
I've been here and done this before. Now, why am I back in the same spot?
Mm.
Why would
Again.
why haven't I grown and gotten past this? What's up?
Yeah. What's up with that?
Yeah.
Got it. Are you present to anything else? Or does that feel complete? And I'm going to ask this again in a way. I want to make sure, like, I want to hear all of it because it's important that it's vocalized, right? So is there anything else that you're present to that you haven't shared in your head talk in this space?
No, just I think all in the same lines, people, I think, especially, watching to see if like when I said, I'm going to go do this, and it's like, well, is she really going to be able to do this or not? People me like, let's see if she can really do this. I don't know. It's just that whole, I don't know. That's, a lot of it. And that judgment, like she was talking about, why do we care? We do, but, why can't I just let that go and just move on? And whether it's somebody I'm talking to out in public or in my space or in my, work arena or my family, or that, we care about. And why do we let that bother us? Or why am I letting that bother me?
Yeah.
I'm worrying about, that judgment that she was talking about.
Right.
And
Thank you for sharing all that. I cut you off there. You said you hate what?
And I hate all that. I hate, I'm like, I don't like that being in, I just don't like it. I'm just like, why? I just want to do what I do. And, people say no or whatever. Some people are rude about it. That bothers. I have a hard time with that.
Right.
And dealing with that. And just the way some people are out there, but.
Got it. Do you want some support around letting this go?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Are you at home or out and about?
No, I'm at home.
Cool. Are there a bunch of other people around, or are you by yourself?
No, there's no one where I am right now.
Sweet. So are you able to if either have your phone on like a headset or put your phone on speaker so you could put that down, and I want to ask you to stand up.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
So once you stand up, just go ahead and close your eyes. And I just want you to take a couple of breaths, however you want to breathe, just to presence yourself in your body in this moment. And Suzanne, if I asked you to picture an image of yourself as a child, maybe 5 to 7 years old, is there an image that comes to mind?
Yes.
Tell me about her. What does she look like?
She's physically, what does she look like?
Anything you want to tell me about her.
She's let's see, a little bit self-conscious and shy.
Mm.
Has some fear.
How old is she?
About 5.
Got it. Has she been afraid for a long time?
Yeah. Has to do with some abandonment.
Got it. Got it. How do you feel in this moment looking at that little girl?
That this comes up for me a lot.
What's this?
That fear, and that I think it has been present in my life for like ever. And it has to do with some home life situation stuff. And I recognize it. I even recognize it within myself,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know how to get around it or work through it.
Got it. So I'm going to ask you to have a conversation with that little girl. Is that something that you're willing to do if I help you?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm going to say something and I want you to repeat it back to her. Are you willing?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Awesome. Can you see her?
Yes.
Got it. You can't do this.
You can't do this.
You've bitten off more than you can chew.
You've bitten off more than you can chew.
You're too old to come back around and do this again.
You're too old to come back around and do this again.
If you start something, you've got to finish it.
If you start something, you've got to finish it.
I don't believe you have the wherewithal physically to get this done.
I don't believe you have the wherewithal physically to get this done.
I mean, we've been here and we've done this before. What's up with that?
We've been here and done this before. What's up with that?
Will you say that again and not like a question? What's up with that?
What's up with that?
Why haven't you figured this out yet?
Why haven't you figured this out yet?
Are you really going to be able to do this?
Are you really going to be able to do this?
What's wrong with you that you can't just let this go and move on?
What's wrong with you that you just can't let this go and move on?
You've got to get this done.
You've got to get this done.
How does she feel? hearing that coming from you?
Like maybe almost like well, maybe I can do it, but also I don't know, she doesn't have all the answers either.
Got it. Does she respond to being spoken to in that way?
No, but I mean, it's to be kind of like ask all these questions of like, what's wrong with you? That, doesn't work.
Yeah.
What my self-talk's been, right?
Mm-hmm.
And telling myself.
Yeah, for sure. You've absolutely been telling her that. Is it working for her, do you think? Like, is it motivating her and inspiring her? Is she excited, or is she
No.
scared?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, she's scared. So that's what's happening is I'm scaring myself, I guess. So how do I quit that self-talk? Or how? Because if I know that's where, goes way back there to when I was young, and then that's kind of my self-talk, all these years.
Yeah. It sounds like that you learned how to talk to that little girl, maybe from other people.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. May I ask how old you are now?
I'm 57.
Got it. So you figure for probably, 45, 50 years, she's been hearing this from you?
Yes.
So let me ask you a question and then we'll ask her a question. Does that sound fair?
Okay.
Suzanne, has that little girl suffered enough?
Yeah, you'd think. Yes. Yes.
Well, it's not a question for me. Are you sure? You can look at her. Has she suffered enough?
Yes.
So ask her what she needs to hear from you instead.
So what do you need to hear from me instead? Definitely more positive
Okay.
feedback and talk, and more inspiration, more just positive input instead of the negative.
Yeah. What specifically though? Like, what does that little girl need to know about who she is?
That she's worthy and deserves it. That, she can do anything she puts her mind to. And to also remember that she's already achieved a lot of different things through life.
Okay.
And she doesn't need to self-sabotage as things are going good. Then don't sabotage it before or make it even more difficult.
Got it.
to reach the goal.
So I mean, I believe her to be intelligent, but she's 5. So does she understand self-sabotage? What that means, what you just said?
No, because I do.
Got it. So I want you to close your eyes if you've opened them, and I want you to really look at that little girl. You told me she was scared and self-conscious and shy, and she has a fear of being abandoned that's been there basically forever. Using all of the wisdom and the awareness, the knowledge, Suzanne, you've grown so much and you've come so far, and you've, my gosh, just already achieved so much. Using all of your wisdom, what do you know to be true about that little girl? What's the truth that you want to pour into her? The truth of her soul about who she is.
You know, she's a child of God and loved very, very much. And that, you know, basically she is going to be okay, you know,
Yeah.
even though it seems like she feels like she won't. She will, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
So I want you to repeat this, but I want you to talk to her directly.
okay.
Were you going to say something?
No, just that, you know, people around her do love her.
What about you?
And that yes, and that I love her. And I need to work on that more.
Got it. So do you want to stay standing, or do you want to sit down with her as we speak this truth and love into her? What feels good to you and to her in this moment?
I'll just kneel down.
Perfect. Suzanne, when you were little, did they call you Suzanne or did they call you another name? Did you have like a nickname or anything?
I did as I started going into elementary school. Well, yeah, I did. They called me Susie.
Got it. Is that how you'd like to address her now?
Sure. Either way is fine. My mother still called me Suzanne, but my friend everybody called me Susie. So
Well, I'm going to trust your instincts and her instincts.
okay.
So I want you to call her by her name. And then repeat after me. Are you willing?
Yes.
Got it. Susie, you're worthy and you deserve. You're worthy and you deserve it.
Susie, you are worthy and you deserve it.
You can do anything you put your mind to.
You can do anything you put your mind to.
You've already achieved so much.
You've already achieved so much.
You're a child of God and you're loved very much.
You are a child of God and you are loved very much.
I love you.
I love you.
And you're going to be okay.
and you're going to be okay.
In this moment, is there anything else that she either wants to share with you or ask or wants to express?
Probably just wanting to know that she won't be alone.
Got it. Well, what do you say in response?
That you won't be alone. God is always with you. And that I love her as well.
Is there anything else that you want her to know about how you feel about her, about who she is?
Just that she's a good person.
Tell her, please.
And Susie, you are a good person. And you're loved, and you can do the things that you put your mind to.
And Suzanne, what if she tries and she misses a goal? How will you feel about her then?
It'll be okay, because we'll just reset the goal. I'll help her reset it, and we'll try it again.
Will you tell her that?
Susie, if you miss a goal, we'll reset it and go for it again and try again. And just know that there's learning steps along the way, and that's part of your growth. And it's okay. And it doesn't matter what others think about it. It's your goal.
Is there anything else that either of you want to express to each other, or does that feel complete?
It feels complete for now.
Got it. I like that, complete for now. If you're willing, go ahead and just, whether it's with a handshake or a hug, I want you to bring Susie's energy into you. And as you continue to take just a couple of deep breaths, I want you to allow her energy to reintegrate with yours. Take as long as you need and let me know when that feels complete.
Okay.
So go ahead and just take one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, just go ahead and open your eyes. Maybe wiggle your fingers. Get yourself comfortable wherever you are. How do you feel in this moment?
Um, I feel better. I feel like I'm more reconnected than I have been. Just because I'm always looking at that person or that part of me as a separate part, and this kind of helped bring that together, bring it back to me.
Yeah.
So that feels better. As I process this, over the next day or so, I'll be thinking about it and really honing in on that. I mean, sometimes the work is never done, but much better. And I understand it a little bit better.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Thank you. That was really beautiful. And I appreciate you playing full out and doing what is not always comfortable or easy. I really honor you. May I give you a little bit of homework?
Oh, sure. Hang on, let me get a notebook here.
It's okay. I don't need you to get a notebook right now. I'm going to text you when the call is over.
Oh,
But
okay.
My invitation for you would be to speak to that little girl in the mirror before you go to bed at night.
Okay.
And I captured the words that you said, so I'm just going to send them to you.
Okay.
And that's my invitation would be to speak those to her. So when you're looking in the mirror, not brushing your teeth or combing your hair, taking off your eye makeup, just you and her. And I want you to really connect with her and see if you can see her eyes and your eyes. And I want you to speak to her in the second person, right? Just like you're talking to her, right? You can do anything that you put your mind to. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Got it. So I'll send those over to you.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Sean. And thank you, Marlena. And anybody listening in the replay. I appreciate the space that you held. That was beautiful and sacred. And yeah, just thank you. Both of you ladies, I would encourage you to drink some water. If you haven't already, like just drink some water. And actually, let's do this together. If you're willing, go ahead and take like your right arm out and extend it way out straight in front of you with your palm down. And then take your left arm out and do the same thing. And then I want you to cross your right arm over the top and slide your arms all the way up so that your right hand is on the opposite, like on the left shoulder, and the left hand is on your right shoulder. Are you with me?
Yes.
Perfect. And I want you to take a big deep breath in. And then I want you to drop your head and give yourself a big, huge hug. I love self-hugs. Thank you for that. Marlena, Sean, was that valuable or helpful for either of you?
Marlene, I'm going to unmute you again. I muted you on our end earlier.
Oh, I didn't know I had muted. Okay. Yes, this whole thing was just, and Suzanne, thank you for your comments. Just the whole, this is amazing. So accepting and just valuable. Mm-hmm. Loved it.
So to go back to something that you were resisting initially, Marlena, is the, was showing up as this is a Mary Kay call and I don't want to take the time for this other stuff. And your process allowed Suzanne to feel what she felt and led to that process for her as well.
Wow.
And when we recognize that we're all so similar at the deeper levels, that our challenges are very similar, even if they present themselves different at the surface. We all want to be loved. We all don't want to be abandoned. We all have some fear of dismissal or not belonging. We all don't want to feel embarrassed. You know, we all have the same core fears and desires. The way they show up are different based on our own personal experiences, but the core is really the same. I remember years ago, I just had this thought, like we're all a big human Mad Lib story. You guys remember Mad Lib?
Yes.
You say, hey, give me a noun or give me a verb or give me an adjective. We all have the same core story, but the details are where the difference is found. So, you know, in my story or in the human story, it's like, all right, give me your childhood trauma, right? What did you experience when you were a kid that didn't feel good? And, you know, for somebody, it might be really deep and emotional, and it might be severe, you know, it might be neglect and abuse and death. And for somebody else, it, you know, it could be that they didn't go to the place that they wanted to go to on their 7th birthday party, and they're still like really upset about that. But whatever the details are, the human experience is very similar. So when we give ourselves permission to share our human experience, we give other people's permission to share theirs and to know that they're not alone. That's one of our biggest fears, is we're going to share our dirty laundry and everybody's going to look at us like, what? You, what? I can't relate to that. And the reality is pretty much everybody can relate to our core human experiences. So again, for you to share what you shared allowed Suzanne to feel what she felt. And I think anybody else that would have been listening live or people that are listening to the recording are going to take something really powerful out as well. And if we take this into the Mary Kay context, every woman out there that you might see and are considering whether you should warm chat them or not, or friends that you have that you're considering whether you should ask them to come to a party or do a facial or something like that. If you see them for their humanity, for their little girl, for their pain and desires and all the same stuff that we all have, it'll be a lot easier to operate from a place of connection and compassion than it will be from a place of fear, which is where all the sabotage comes from, right? What if she says no? What if she judges me? And in reality, there's really two humans that are probably scared of the exact same thing. And so what if we had the ability to invite somebody into some healing around that, or some joy? You know, I forget the words that you just said a little while ago, but it was just comforting and embracing and safe and peaceful, and you know, the acknowledgement, like all of that is what we're all after. And if we could stay rooted in that place, everything changes.
Wow.
And then Mary Kay is just a thing that you do to help yourself live the life that you want. And it's a thing that you offer other people to help them live the lives they want. It doesn't mean that you're a loser. You don't, you know, you can't earn a sense of enoughness by achieving goals.
Right.
Nor can you lose your enoughness by failing at goals.
Right.
So what both of you did is you reconnected yourself with yourself. And specifically with the little girl who's been around the whole time. You know, Suzanne, you mentioned abandonment. You had some abandonment issues.
Yeah.
I would say the real abandonment that we're all dealing with is us with us.
Yeah.
It's our adult version who abandoned that little child at some point in time and hasn't come back yet.
Right.
Well, the two of you just gave yourself an experience of coming back and to some degree rescuing this little child. The child just happened to be you.
Mm-hmm.
And what that little girl needs to know is that you won't leave her. Because if you won't leave her, then everybody else can, and you'll still be okay. But the opposite is also true. If you will always leave her, then everybody else can stay, and it
No one will
still
be
won't be
enough.
okay.
Wow.
No one will be enough. No thing will be enough. And I only know that because I tried everything that you could try externally. You are the one that you're waiting for.
No. How simple, but yet how crazy is it? We can't get that. And we work our way all around the whole, it's like we skirt around it. We do everything around it. And she's in the middle or he's in the middle, whatever, you know, and we're doing everything around it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So healing this relationship with yourself is everything.
Only everything, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not anything more than everything. Or anything less than everything.
Yeah.
And you know, Michelle told a story on one of the other masterminds just a day or two ago about how one of her most miserable moments in life in Mary Kay was where?
The night that I was crowned the Queen of Sharing.
Wow.
Because I was alone, not externally, right? I was married and had a beautiful team and wonderful people who loved me, but it's never enough if like I didn't have me. So just it didn't matter, right? It's kind of like a compliment, right? If I think I look cute and you tell me I look cute, okay, good. But if I don't think I look cute, 1,000 compliments won't be enough. It's the same concept. And I had worked so hard and made so many sacrifices because I just thought if I could get there, right? If I could arrive there, then I would be enough. And I got there and I wasn't. I was still not enough. I still didn't feel okay. I still felt stupid and fat and ugly and not pretty enough and not smart enough. And did I really deserve it? And it was probably a fluke. And then there was just this moment of, I don't like to use this word lightly, but it really was like a depression, because then why bother? Right? Like if I worked so hard and sacrificed so much and did so much and stayed up late and got up early and sacrificed time with my family and made all these choices and stayed out and pounded the pavement and made all the calls and I did everything right, and I still didn't feel good, like it simultaneously was one of the like worst, but also the catalyst for I mean, that was really the beginning of me shifting to get into this work, because then it just got to a point where I was like, okay, I've done everything that I know to do, right? All I know to do is to achieve and to perform and to try to be successful. So apparently this isn't working, and maybe I need to get some external help. And it didn't happen right away. It wasn't immediate, but it was very shortly after that I thought, okay, like I got to do something else. But yeah, I mean, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the disconnect is internal, it doesn't matter what we put in from the outside. It's not going to heal the internal disconnect. But when we heal that and we reconnect, and there are certainly layers, right? But when we heal that internal relationship, and both of you, I mean, you did that today. And when that continues to grow, then it really doesn't matter. A phrase we use in our community all the time is, I got me, right? I'm good. So it doesn't matter what else happens, what external anything is going on, because I'm good. I got me. No matter what, if I mess something up, whatever, like I got me. Like, it doesn't mean I don't care, but I'm not going to go in and attack that girl. Like me and her, we're like this. And I say in my book, I was in an abusive relationship for 41 years, and I'm 42. So I made the decision a year ago in January that I was going to wrap up that behavior with her. So I honor both of them.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
For sharing that. That was helpful too.
Wow. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase, like, money is an enhancer, right? Like, people, you've heard the phrase maybe like, oh, money's evil, it makes people evil. It just enhances what you already are, right? So I was unhappy with myself, not as a director, right? So I became a director. Now I'm in a suit and unhappy. Now I'm in a pink Cadillac and unhappy. Now I'm on stage. I'm still unhappy. Like, it's just magnifying what's already there. Yeah.
Right.
Man, this work, I mean, I've already cried like 3 times on this call. I mean, because I know what's possible. I mean, this is it. Like, this is a simple thing. Marlena, you said it, I don't know, maybe 40 minutes in? This is it. This is everything. And has the power to change everything. And I know some people will be like, yeah, is it really everything? Yes, everything. Everything. You just don't even know. It's so good.
Yes.
Yay!
So how are you guys doing?
I feel great.
Amazingly well, considering I'm wet everywhere. My shirt's wet, but I'm good.
Nice.
So the challenge that most people make or have, even when they do this work, is how do you stay there? And what we'll tell you is that what each of you both just did is everything. As Michelle said, it's everything. We don't use that word lightly.
Right.
It is everything, and now it's just about repeating that. And what you did is a very simple thing. It's actually really simple to imagine yourself in a state of innocence, because it's very easy for us to find compassion with innocence, with children. And so when we can re-heal that relationship, then now the answer is just do that again. So like, what happens when you have fear of making phone calls? Do that again. Talk to her. Tell her it'll be okay, regardless of what happens. Like Suzanne said, if you miss your goal, we'll just set another one. It's no big deal. There's nothing really to be afraid of, as long as we got us. Like Michelle said, I got me. So if I got me, you can't hurt me, because I'm really the only one that can hurt me. Does that land for you guys?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that is so powerful.
Right?
Yeah.
I got me.
So even when other people are being negative or hateful or mean or ugly or, just you get it from time to time. I'm not saying, I'm not claiming the whole world's like that, but that's you get those
Sure.
that are coming at you. So then am I being the adult protector?
Let me stop you there, and because I'm pretty sure I know where you're going, and let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Let's say you do you have anybody in your life right now that is like 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old, a real person, family member, friend, neighbor?
Yes, I nanny for a special needs family right now.
Okay. Is it a boy or a girl that you're thinking of?
Both. I've been thinking about them on this call. In fact, that it's a little girl and a little boy.
Beautiful. What's the little girl's name?
Cassidy.
Cassidy. How old is she?
She is. She will be 6 in January.
Beautiful. So let's pretend that while you were with Cassidy at school, let's say, one of her friends said, "Cassidy, you're ugly." And Cassidy turned to you like, "What do I do with this? Give me something here, Nanny." What would you tell Cassidy in that moment?
That she is beautiful, that they're not seeing her for who she really is, and that she's a sweet little girl, and their behavior is they're just being ugly right now. As far as their behavior, they're not acting very nice. That's what I would tell her, to make sure that she knows that's not really true, and tell her how pretty she really is and what a sweet little girl she is.
And if she believes you more than the other little girl, what do you think she will feel?
She'll feel comforted and confident in who she is, instead of believing those other words that person, that little girl, is telling her.
Beautiful. And if she believes the little girl more than you, how will she feel?
Not good. She'll start believing that and building that as her belief system moving forward.
It really is just that simple. So when other people get negative in whatever way, what matters is not what they say to you, it's what you say to yourself immediately after that. Just like what you said to Cassidy immediately after the girl said something ugly, what Cassidy is going to live or die by is what you say to her after that. Now, if the little girl goes, "Cassidy, you're ugly," and you look down at her and go, "Whoa, she is so right. You're actually like awfully ugly. It's hard to look at you." You're going to destroy her, right?
Right.
Because the other little girl's words matched what you said. So that's why what Michelle was saying earlier is so critical to understand. If we're telling ourselves all the time, "You're so ugly, you're so stupid, you'll never get this accomplished," then anybody whose judgments match that, it will affect us. And anybody whose judgments don't match that, it won't affect us. So the people that are telling us, "You're awesome, you're amazing, you could do anything you want," well, if that's not matching my internal story, because I'm telling myself, I'm a piece of crap and I'll never accomplish anything. So what they say doesn't matter unless it matches what I say, because I am the only one that is in control of my emotional buttons. So to go back to your question, if you got you and you hear negativity from other people, it literally is in that moment, a moment between you and Cassidy. What are you going to say to you? And you could just repeat word for word what you said in this example to Cassidy, even if it doesn't even make sense. You could say that word for word with the energy that you just had when you were talking to Cassidy, and you're good. You're good. People can say the worst things to you. Michelle and I were just in New York a few weeks ago, and we did this exercise. We did this exercise with a bunch of people that are really into this work, you know, who really want
We were pretty mean to each other, in all fairness.
And we came after each other. Michelle, she loves it when she has an opportunity to like be vicious with me. She loves this exercise. And I gave it back to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember what she told me. She might remember.
I do.
I'm sure you do. But I'll tell you what I told her. I told her, nobody's going to pay attention to you because you were an alcoholic whore. Those are pretty sharp words.
Yeah.
I know, right?
But I've also been around her for these years, and it was a test to see if that judgment coming from me, I'm somebody that she cares about, and I care about her, and she respects me, and I respect her. So hearing that judgment, it was a test to see, like, do you got you? Mm-hmm. And a year ago, if I would have said that, it probably would have destroyed her. Not because of what I said, but because of where she was with herself. Mm-hmm. And so now, I loved the fact that we said some really harsh things and we took a shot at things that we knew were personal. Mm-hmm. And it didn't affect us because it's not our internal conversation anymore. So it doesn't matter, right? It's as if I would have said, Michelle, that extra head that you have growing out of your shoulder is so gross. Right. You should just cut that thing off. It doesn't land at all because she actually doesn't believe she has a head growing out of her shoulder.
Well, it's not gross anyway. It's cute.
If I got it, yeah, I'm going to flaunt it, right? Do her hair. So the real issue is, what are we saying to ourselves? And if we're kind, if we're gentle, if we're nurturing, if we're saying, Cassidy, they don't see your real beauty, then all of their arrows are just going to hit your back, right? I just had this vision of you like bending over to Cassidy and you're protecting her from the arrows that people are shooting at her verbally. We have that same ability with ourselves to constantly control the conversation. And when we control that conversation, then other people's words cannot get in.
You know, I just a light bulb went off on this. So when I've got people telling me positive things, like, oh, we believe you can do this in a month, et cetera, now I'm getting why some of the self-sabotage, if you will, or just not this, I'm just using this as an example, but there's many, many, many other things in my life that as we go through our lives. But the thing is that if I'm not, you know, where you said, like, if you could have, Michelle, you were saying, if people tell you, give compliment, but you don't think that or believe that about yourself, they can say it a million times to you or have 1,000 people tell you that, but
Mhm.
you're not going to believe it.
Right.
It's yourself telling you, right?
Mhm.
That's what I think Sean was just saying, because
Absolutely.
say, oh, Suzanne, you can do this. I know who you are. I've seen you, blah, 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 blah. We believe this. But if in my head, if I'm not believing it,
Mhm.
then I think that's where then like, I think I get paralyzed by that, because I'm not really, I mean, I'm working at that goal, but I don't believe I deserve it, or I'm worthy of it, or I can do it, or in that time frame, or what, because they're like, you've done this before, you've got this, you can do all of this. But I'm not believing that, because that's not the self-talk I give myself.
Not the self-talk you give yourself, or not the self-talk you gave yourself?
Gave myself and was believing.
Yeah.
Right. So
For sure.
that's what I think that was part of why I'm just like, why do I let that bother me when people say those things? Because I wasn't believing it.
Yeah. Well, and then every time you play out the opposite, right? Like then it's like an affirmation of the opposite, right? Every time they said you could do it, the tape triggered, it was like hit play on the, you're a loser reel, right?
Right.
And
Yes.
let that spin out every single time. So of course it makes sense to me that you were like, stop talking, like just stop it.
Right. Yeah. Yes. So, okay. That's good. That helps me, what Sean was just saying about all that. Yeah. And you too.
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't hurt if there's no resonance, right? I mean, if like Sean might as well have just said like, hey, go fish. Like what? Huh? Okay. Like, I mean, it doesn't make sense, because there's nothing that it bothers me. And if it does, I celebrate that as well, because then that's the only way for a trigger to get released is for us to identify it, right? So if something does get lit up when somebody makes a judgment or you hear something externally, then celebrate it, especially when you have support like this and community and tribe. You have a coach, you have mastermind groups, because then you can say, like, if I get triggered about something, I'm like to Sean, right? Sometimes I'll spin out for entertainment purposes for like 15-20 minutes first, but that's a real story. I really do that. That's actually a legitimate statement there. But the reality is I just reach out for help, because I'm like, oh, this is a thing. Let's let this go, right? I don't make it mean anything bad about me anymore. I want to know if it's there. Let's get it out, because I want to feel more of this good feeling that I started feeling.
Right. So even though people could see me being able to do these, because I've got people going, Suzanne, I believe in you. You can do this. You can do it. But I didn't believe it about myself. And so then I just was like, yeah. So, yeah. Okay. All right. Very helpful. Very, very.
Yeah. Now you can lean down to that little girl and whisper like, hey, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. We're good. You're not alone.
Right.
Dang, this call was so good. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Thank
you, Michelle, for leading a couple really powerful coaching exercises. Marlena and Suzanne, thank you for being willing to go there.
Thank you all.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. I don't know how Michelle feels about like doing this work. Like it's kind of pulling teeth, I feel sometimes for her, like, no, come on, Michelle, let's do another 2-hour call. It's like, only 2 hours? No, we got way more to talk about.
I know. I feel that way. I'm like, be cognizant. Other people don't work like you do.
Right. So I'm going to add on to what Michelle said, really, or highlight at least, really take care of yourself. Yeah. Drink water, get some good rest, pay attention to any thoughts that you're having or feelings that you're having. Don't judge them. If you have like really weird dreams, that's great. There's nothing to be negatively assessed. If you sleep really well, awesome. If you sleep really poor, awesome. Just notice. That's it. Because you're really doing something. Both of you did something that is somewhat disruptive to the system because it's new. It's different than the dialogue you've been having for a long, long time. And anytime we go in, even if it's a positive disruption, it's still a disruption. And so when we go in and start changing habits like this, sometimes we don't take too kindly to it. Like our true self, like wants the love and the gentleness and stuff. But a lot of times our programming doesn't. Our programming will come back sometimes. You might find yourself, like Suzanne specifically, you might find yourself beating yourself up about goals or why can't I just go for it or whatever. It's just programmed thinking that can run, they can just operate. So if you find yourself with anything negative coming back, it doesn't mean it didn't work. It doesn't mean that you're a loser. It doesn't mean that this work is only going to work for Michelle, but nobody else. It doesn't mean any of that stuff. And trust me, like there's been a lot of resistance with that lady. A lot. And it's all been perfect. It's all been beautiful. It's all been required. It's all been great. So
I will not put down that balloon. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. One of the fallacies of this work is people think that once you do a process like this, then all right, great. That negative voice is never going to come back again.
Right.
I just did this thing for like 20 minutes. I mean, that should get rid of 50 plus years, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Ta-da.
Probably not. Yeah, probably not. But the key is you did the work. Now it's just about repeating that and applying it to all the different areas when it shows up. That's the beauty in this. And it's so simple. People actually don't believe that it's the truth.
Right.
And you guys have both just entered a new stage of this where now, the old stuff might come back and you might question and like sometimes, I mean, I've been doing this for 15 years. A lot of times I still question, could it really be that simple? No, no way. Could it really be that simple? Right. And I have to remind myself, that's what changed your life. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it actually can. It's what you did. And it's because it's like so elementary or not the thing that we're expecting. And it just goes under the radar sometimes. So whatever you're feeling, feel. Whatever you catch yourself thinking, just allow it. Just notice it. You have us, you have the group, you have the Facebook Messenger group specifically in between these calls. You have these calls, obviously. You can go back and re-listen. I would suggest that each one of you go back and listen to your process when Michelle was coaching you individually. And I'm positive you'll hear something you probably didn't notice. You'll either hear something she said or hear something you said. And you just, in the moment, you didn't notice it. And it will probably be something really profound. So I really suggest that you go back and listen to that. And if there are any questions that come up, anything you notice that you want to run by us, please, we're here for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you. I thought about going back and listening to it. I thought that's going to be hard probably to go back and listen to it again. I know that sounds crazy. I just did it, but I was thinking that's going to be strange listening to myself again.
Yeah. So since you had that thought of, yeah, that might be really hard, that's confirmation to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then just see. I think you'll experience something that you don't believe you'll experience. Meaning the way you think you'll probably listen to it is not going to be the way you hear it, not going to be the way you experience it. And if something does come up, going back to what Michelle said earlier, great. Let's deal with that.
Okay. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I honor the both of you so much, and everybody listening to this replay. It was beautiful in so many ways and universal in a lot of ways as well.
Mm.
Well, thank you guys, both of you. And the other gal. What's her name?
Marlena.
Marlena. I was going to say Charlene. Right. Sorry. Marlena. I just have the right beginning. So thank you for opening up.
Yeah, that was neat how you guys just sort of piggybacked off each other. Similar internal dialogue, just different applications of it.
Right. Yeah, it was really good.
All right, you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Be good, be gentle, be kind with yourself. And we'll talk to you on our next call. And we'll see you in the Facebook Messenger group in between now and then.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.